Some have traveled from near and far, and we welcome you. We hope you have a great time. I'm supposed to say a little something, but I don't know if I can make it through, so I'm going to be very brief. And I've thought about this for days. I've had many different roles in my life, and 32 years ago, I had the most wonderful experience of my life when Sheila was born. I never experienced anything like it. And what I wanted to say is, when I look the way Mike looks at Sheila, I can tell that it's the same type of love where he just looks at her and he smiles all the time. And I couldn't ask for a more wonderful son-in-law, and Mike, welcome to the family.
My name is Colleen, and I'm Sheila's best girl. That's not a wedding term. That's actually how we've referred to each other since we were about 4 years old. Dang, I didn't cry this early when I practiced it. I have a really distinct memory of it, too. I think they call these core memories. We were standing in our grandma's mudroom in Elmwood Park. We were either hugging hello or goodbye, and it was probably a holiday like Christmas or Easter. And one of the adults asked us, "Are you two best friends?" And I distinctly recall thinking, well, no, we're cousins. Cousins can't be friends. She's just my best girl. And that 4-year-old logic has stuck with us ever since. Truly, we've been so lucky to have one another. Our mothers are sisters, and neither of us grew up with a blood-related sister. You'll all have an opportunity to hear from Katie in a few minutes, who really is Sheila's big sister. But for Sheila and I, we were only born 6 months apart. And unlike a sister or a school friend, a cousin is a pretty ideal best girl to have. For a few reasons. One, sharing secrets. We could tell each other just about anything. Any school gossip, any trouble we got into, people we were mad at, boys we liked. Come to think of it, I remember a guy called Mike Fit from those days. But because our friend circles didn't totally overlap, those secrets started and ended between us. Second was sleepovers. We used to pin our grandma between our moms, make them feel guilty if they wouldn't let us have a sleepover. So they would be guilted into it and let us have it, and usually we did so with matching pajamas. Oh. 3 was clothes. Truthfully, I was more the beneficiary here because we all know Sheila is the fashionista. I mean, look at her tonight. But for a girl with no sisters, access to Sheila's closet was pretty great deal. 4 was parties. Once we were old enough to drive, we had what seemed like endless parties to choose from between our 2 high school circles. And I could go on, but you get the idea. Having a best girl is pretty ideal. Now, as I briefly mentioned, I of course recall Mike Fit from our junior high days. We were pretty young, and unlike Sheila, I'm not necessarily as much of a romantic, so I wasn't thinking long-term about their prospects back then. But that's a really important note about Sheila. When I say she is a romantic, I of course mean she loves love, rom-coms, Valentine's Day, but mostly I mean she is just a romantic when it comes to life. She dreams big. From moving to Spokane, moving to Nashville, diving into startup companies, a true saleswoman at heart. She's the main character of her life. She loves fiercely, and she's a protector. We could spend all night talking about what a great big sister she is for Billy. And one of the most underplayed qualities of Sheila is how tough she is. On the outside, she's walking sunshine. That's a quote from Mike Fit. But keep in mind that the sun is also the most powerful source in our solar system. And Sheila's nothing if not incredibly powerful and resilient. And she impressively can even romanticize time. I can't tell you how many times she has come up with these grand plans for a day. homemade breakfast, get a workout in, get her nails done, go shopping, idea, idea, idea. And all before noon, and she doesn't wake up until 10 a.m. I'd always go, Sheila, we can't physically fit all of that into 2 hours. And her response was always, we'll see. But I digress. Back to Mike, who, by the way, is a fellow Hoosier. Any other Hoosiers in the house? So when I heard around March 2021 that Sheila was out with the girls, enjoying a few margaritas, and decided to text Mike Fit, I thought, oh boy, here we go. It's all over now. In the best way, of course, because I always liked Mike. I knew he treated Sheila well, and they really knew each other deep down. When you have history with someone from childhood, from the same hometown, there's so much you don't even have to explain to understand each other. And while I'm still pretty new to this whole marriage thing myself, I think understanding one another is really at the core of it all. Mike, thank you for treating my best girl with the utmost respect, and for putting her first, looking out for her, and most importantly, always letting her be herself. So with that, I'd like to raise a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Fit. Sheila and Mike, I love you both. Mike, welcome to our family. I wish you both a lifetime of love, happiness, and deep understanding. Cheers.
Hello, everyone, looking beautiful. And how about this bride? I will say she is the most beautiful bride in Chicago, and that's true because I've seen her try on every dress in the state of Illinois. And how about this head-turningly handsome groom? Oh, wow, wow. There's so many things I have written to say to you both, of course, but I thought, let's just get to the bottom of it all, get to the good part. Sheila and Michael love each other. And Mike and Sheila don't fight, guys. So there's no marital advice to give them. She said, we don't fight. So we'll move on from that. But all I had in my head to wrap this up quickly is, you guys know Sally, who sells the seashells by the seashore? Sheila shares sunshine by the Chicago shoreline. I love you. I love you, Michael.
Okay. I do have note cards because I have a tendency to ramble. As much as I love a captive audience, I do have a tendency to ramble. And I don't want to keep you crazy kids from the dance floor looking at you, Granddaddy. He can cut a rug. Now, I know a lot of you, but there's even more people that I don't know. And in case you don't know me, my name is... Oh, Lincoln. Thank you. I have the honor of being Mike's chosen best man. And the world's greatest brother-in-law? Who writes that stuff? I don't know. Now, being asked to stand in Mike Fitt's wedding is no small thing. Because Mike is a fierce friend. He is a fierce friend. The friendships that he makes and that he chooses to keep are strong. And I know that there are at least 24 people in this room, more than that. There are countless people in this room who have amazing stories with you going back at least 2 decades. You've all chosen to stick together. You've chosen to treat friendship like the rare and valuable thing that it really is. Mike's consistent in his devotion to his family and his friends. And today, we get to see both sides of that reflected in his devotion to Sheila, because I can say that you guys are truly best friends. And today we celebrate Sheila becoming a part of the family. That deserves an applause. Thank you. Sorry, I'm having trouble. I'm straying from my Wile E. Coyote X on the ground here. So, yeah, it's okay. Thank you, John Luke. Now, 2021, I know, wasn't the start of your story, but it is when I got to know Sheila. I got to see what an amazing addition you were to any group of people in any situation. And I got to see firsthand how Mike's face lights up every time you're in the room. I now know that's obvious. Absolutely. I now know that's obvious to more people than just me, as you heard in the speeches before. It's just true. Check him out. He's a happy guy. He's more of a sap than he lets on. So I know that your reconnecting involved maybe some spicy margaritas, some liquid encouragement for a text message. I'll let Sheila tell you guys more about that, but thank you, spicy margaritas. And I'll just never forget the day that Catherine and I were over at Mike's apartment, and we saw Mike smiling at his phone, very smiley, which was weird. It was really weird. But then he looked up and he turned to Catherine and he said, "Do you remember Sheila Canavan? She's gonna come over." And really, since then, we've had so many stories, we've had so many laughs, and we've had so much love shared between the four of us. It's been an amazing time. And like I said, the story extends further than 2021, but that's not my story to tell because I wasn't there. So, I would like to cede the floor to an eyewitness. My wife and sister of the groom, Catherine.
Thank you for the intro, best man. I'm so honored to be speaking at my brother and new sister's wedding! Forgive my phone, I also don't want to stray or cry too much, so forgive me. I think it's best that I start off by setting some expectations for everybody. It's to all of our great disappointment that I did reach out to AOL to try to get the AIM chats between Jayhawks B-Ball 55 and Tenny Chick 55. But they've been lost to the sands of time as of 2017. They did a data purge. Great disappointment for all of us. But honestly, it's probably for the better. As my mom has said, do you see the way those two look at each other in these middle school pictures? Had I seen that passion, I would have cut that off immediately. There's some spicy pictures. Having grown up knowing my brother's future wife is a really special thing that I don't think a lot of people can say. Sheila's always been the fun, cool girl in the grade above me, someone that I always wanted to be like. Michael's always been an amazing older brother, despite me being the most annoying little sister. He's a very patient man. So when my brother tells us he's starting to see Sheila Canavan again, of course, we're all so excited. I actually remember a very specific moment. We were picking up Michael, me and Lincoln, to go to a party of some kind. And Michael gets in the car, and he says, "I figured it out." He didn't even say hi, nothing. Just, "I figured it out." And we were like, "What exactly did you figure out?" This is where I might cry. He said, "I understand what people are talking about now when you find your person. I love Sheila, and I'm going to marry her. I finally figured it out. I found my person." I know. So me and Lincoln, of course, were like, "Oh my gosh, this is huge. Like, that is such a big thing. But also, can you just play it cool till we know she's on the same page, please?" Literally within that month, we were at a party at my family's house, and I pulled Sheila aside and I asked how it's going with Michael, and she said, "Catherine, I think he's it. He's the one." So you can only imagine the jumping and squealing that happened for 15 minutes after that.
We'll just finish off by addressing the bride and groom directly. Mike and Sheila, thank you guys for loving each other so much. Not only because it gives us an excuse to party tonight in this beautiful venue with this great-looking food and all these great-looking people, Give yourselves an applause for that. But also, because today and every day, your love really does provide an amazing example of what true love looks like, and we could not be happier for you. So we would like to propose a toast to the happy couple, to the bride and groom, to all of you here today, and to spicy margaritas. Cheers, Mike and Sheila.
I don't know if you know me, but I'm Mrs. Fit. Mrs. Sheila Fit. I just truly want to thank every single one of you for coming tonight. I know that we have quite a few guests that have traveled near and very far. I hope that you enjoy the night. I hope that we have provided a wonderful time for you. And I'm just so appreciative that everyone is here from all different stages of our life for the past 20 plus years of our relationship. So truly, thank you so much. This is kind of where we start to have a good time. So, woo! So, that's all I have to say. Make sure you get some sweets if they're still out for Sweet Mandy B's. We're going to have late night food coming soon. And everyone, please come to the dance floor and let's get this party started.
Come on out, everybody. Come on, everybody.